Hi, my name is Amish.aggarwala. I'm an advocate practicing at the Supreme Court of India, and today what I'll talk about with you is the possible consequences of having false allegations leveled at you by your wife. It is pertinent not only for husbands but also their family members, like the husband's father, the husband's mother, and the husband's siblings, no matter how many they number. I made this video because I have husbands or their relatives coming into my office on a very regular basis and asking me about what kind of punishments are there, what kind of offenses they can possibly face, and what kind of situations they can fall in if their wife has very recently left them and has threatened to file false cases against them. A very pertinent and a very good example that comes to my mind is this case that I fought in the year 2018, and I'll upload the relevant PDF of the judgment below this video, and which will show the magnitude at which a person's life can become hell if he becomes accused and if he uh, goes up against the wrong woman in these kind of matrimonial disputes. So what happened in this particular case was that the wife, who herself was a police officer and who used to deal with matrimonial matters on a regular basis, knew exactly what tools to pick out from the arsenal that is regularly used by women and chose to impose them upon the husband and his relatives. She went on and said that she alleged allegation of unnatural sex against the husband under section 377 of the Indian Penal Code by saying that he forcibly had anal intercourse with her. She also went ahead and implicated the father, the mother, and the sister of the husband by saying that they forcefully fed her some noxious material which caused her abortion when she was pregnant 2 years prior to the date of her filing her complaint, which is also a punishable offence under section 313 of the Indian Penal Code. And of course there are the usual run-of-the-mill allegations of section 498A of the IPC, which is cruelty for the purpose of dowry, and section 406 of the IPC, which is criminal breach of trust. And in this particular case, the husband, despite our best efforts, despite us going right up to the Supreme Court of India, the husband stayed in jail for around a month, and when we were able to get him out, and of course there was anticipatory bail which we had already secured for the rest of the relatives of the husband, the woman, sharp as she was and conditioned as she was with the entire process of the justice system, filed an application for cancellation of anticipatory bail given to the relatives of the husband, wherein she alleged that the investigating officer, who was also a friend of hers in the matter, was assaulted by the father, the mother, and the sister of the husband. She got her anticipatory bail cancelled, and the investigating officer on one fine day shows up and arrests the father of the accused as well, and that too precisely on before the last day of the winter vacations of the Delhi district courts, because of which even during vacation time, the vacation judges who are there, they are slow with their matters. They try to throw the matter ahead to the regular list days, and the father spent about 25 days in custody before we were able to get him bail. This is a prime example of how wrong things can go when they do go wrong. Apart from that, brothers of the husband are routinely accused of either rape or sexual assault, punishable under 354, which is outraging the modesty of a woman, and sometimes also under 354A of the Indian Penal Code, which is sexual harassment as well. Apart from that, routinely fathers of the husband are accused of sexually molesting the woman, making passes at her and trying to have sexual relations with her. Also, apart from that, there are allegations against the mother which are of a less severe nature, such as taunts, cruelty, uh, acts which would invite the wrath of the Domestic Violence Act. To sum it up, most of these things will never happen to you, even if you are a victim. But 1 out of 20 cases, I see this happen, and courts are also very, very reluctant to grant anticipatory bail or bail. The job of the lawyer becomes twice as hard, twice as technical in securing bail for the client. And you do that by, if there is an MLC, that is a medical legal certificate, you explore the medical legal certificate, you examine it, you see how conclusive it looks. If there is no MLC, then you have to emphasize very strongly before the judge that no MLC exists, and because of that, the allegations of the wife are whimsical, in the air, and hold no ground. And the reason to make this video was to tell you how bad it can get. And if your situation is such where maybe the wife is well connected or the wife's family is well connected, it is imperative that you go ahead, not take this lightly, and seek anticipatory bail to the quickest possible extent. Otherwise, if you go to jail, you'll spend at least a couple of weeks over there because of how the system of law in India is.